says several discussions, meetings and telephone calls with the company's management have proven futile. Mr. Grant says the union is seeking to resolve these issues in light of the planned divestment of Petcom.
We are asking that the management put some priority on the issue, failing which if we are not able to conclude these discussions and sign an agreement within 72 hours, the union will certainly act on the notice having regards to the withdrawal of labour.
Vice President of the NWU, Arthur Grant. Construction workers at the Royalton Hotel site in Negril, Hanover, this morning staged a protest at the entrance of the site. They are demanding an increase in salary. The current salary for labourers is between $1,500 and $2,000 per day. The workers say they will not return to work until they get 50% increase in salary.
Water, we use water and say that then going to do a make work and labourer work. Okay? So I would say it's about pay. Labourer, we want $2,800. Okay? 50%. Aye. You see? Mason, $6,000. Okay? Then we can see about. I'm doing mason work over there, that's what I'm doing. That's what they employ me to do right now.
One of the protesters at the Royalton Hotel site. Some of the workers are also disgruntled about the lack of proper safety gear at the site. President of the All Island Jamaica Cane Farmers Association, Alan Rickards, says there are still questions about the future of the Long Pond and Moneymusk sugar factories in Trelawney and Clarendon. The government announced in April that it was taking temporary control of the two factories after their management experienced financial challenges for the upcoming sugar crop and next year. Government-owned SCJ Holdings Limited is operating both factories. In an interview with RJR News, Mr. Rickards says since the takeover in May, operations at the Long Pond Sugar Factory in Trelawney have been running smoothly under a 5-month lease agreement. Turning to Pan-Caribbean-owned Moneymusk, Mr. Rickards says the intervention strategy has included allocating parcels of the land to private farmers. He says all of the private farmers, with the exception of 2, are from Clarendon. Mr. Rickards outlined the concerns about the future of Moneymusk after the sugar crop ends next year.
The lands that are being leased now are leased for 1 year only, one crop. So those farmers will literally only be taking off cane, existing cane on those plots of land. And we'll need to know at an early stage whether those leases will be extended to longer periods where they will actually farm those lands on some continuous basis.
President of the All Island Jamaica Cane Farmers Association, Alan Rickards. In the meantime, Mr. Rickards says while the government has been actively pursuing possibilities about the future of Moneymusk after 2017, more information needs to be forthcoming.
What happens after that is another matter. Is Pan-Caribbean going to come back in? My understanding is that they're working with government to look at possibilities in terms of other private sector partnerships in that Moneymusk factory. And therefore, all of this is going on behind the scenes, and we anxiously await word on it.
President of the All Island Jamaica Cane Farmers Association, Alan Rickards. Damage to parochial roads in St. Thomas following heavy rains last week is expected to cost the St. Thomas Parish Council in excess of $60 million. RJR News understands that the Reader's Pen Road in Morant Bay will require full rehabilitation and could cost close to $20 million. Other affected areas include Whitehall, Arcadia and Dalvey and will require road clearing and reinstatement. The latest figure is in addition to the $40 million required for rehabilitation work due to flooding 3 weeks ago. A minor earthquake was felt early this morning in Mavis Bank, St. Andrew. According to a release from the earthquake unit, the magnitude 3.2 tremor occurred about 2:50. It was located approximately 10 kilometers north of Mavis Bank. The focal depth was 13.8 kilometers. Voter turnout has been consistent despite heavy rainfall in the north of St. Lucia. Polling stations opened at 6 o'clock this morning in an early general election called 3 weeks ago by Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony. Managing editor of St. Lucia Mirror, Guy Mays, says long lines were observed at several polling stations with many persons sheltering from the rain.
The reports coming from the various constituencies have been that people are turning out in large numbers to vote despite the inclement weather. We have been having very heavy showers from the wee hours of the morning, and the rain continues up to now.
Managing Editor of St. Lucia Mirror, Guy Mays. And now to end of this newscast, the main points. Agriculture Ministry says it has received no reports of an increase in consumer prices since the increase in tax on fuel. Traffic-Uber hearing in the Supreme Court remains on hold, pending the appeal by the People's National Party. NWU serves 72-hour strike notice on the management of the Petroleum Company of Jamaica, and questions still surround the future of the Long Pond and Moneymusk sugar factories in Trelawney and Clarendon. I am Doreen Samuels, and that's the latest news.
RJR News, consistently credible. RJR News.
Thank you, Doreen. And the news was brought to you by KFC. Try a KFC meal deal or big deal today. KFC, so good.
KFC, big deal business. Said it's a big deal business. Taste the flavor, you can't resist it. And when me catch the aroma, I feel make me harder. Big deal time now, yeah.
KFC get me big deal or the meal deal. Twice and I drink so good, it's the real deal. Original spicy barbecue when we step in a KFC with the big deal crew.
Said it's a big deal business. Taste the flavor, you can't resist it. And when me catch the aroma, I feel make me harder. A big deal time now, yeah. KFC, it's so good.
Sports Day, your lunchtime sports report.
A very good afternoon to you, Damon Gordon here with the latest from the RJR Sports Department. The Reggae Boys striker Giles Barnes says that they are proud of their effort against Venezuela despite their 1-0 loss in their opening game of the Copa Centenario on Sunday. The Jamaicans played with 10 men from as early as the 23rd minute after Rudolph Austin saw a straight red card for a dangerous tackle. Barnes says they identified many positives in that defeat.
But I think it shows our camaraderie and our team spirit that we didn't, concede another goal and that we kept on going. We still went forward, we still created chances, everyone was still flying back and forth. Playing for our country means a lot for us, so we gave every single sweat, blood and tears that we did out there. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the back of the net, but we feel that we could have deserved a little bit more. We kept it balanced, we have the pace on the wings and through the middle that we could catch them on the counter-attack, and we did a couple of times. As I said, we have to stick those chances in the back of the net, but I think there's a lot to look forward to, and as I said, can be proud of the boys.
Giles Barnes. The West Indies batsman Chris Gayle has hit back at the management of the Melbourne Renegades following their disclosure that they would not be re-signing him for the next edition of the Australia Big Bash T20. Gayle said it was a disingenuous statement from the franchise as they knew that he was not coming back even before the end of last season. Gayle created controversy after he asked a female reporter out on a date during a live television interview. The Jamaican said it was an overreaction to a simple joke and later apologized for the incident. However, he said the latest release from the Renegade franchise was misleading.
I knew I wasn't going to be back then, and that's like a couple of months while the Big Bash finished. For them now to come and say Chris Gayle wasn't a part of this, and I even have emails stating months ago, the reason why, Chris Gayle, we're going to use a spinner, or whatever the case may be. Since Chris Gayle joined the Renegades, you check the membership. About how many have actually grown, you can ask Renegades that, what I've done for them, just to be a part of that franchise. So for them to actually didn't really come out and clear the air properly, I must say I'm disappointed in the Renegades.
Chris Gayle. In the meantime, the West Indies captain Jason Holder has highlighted the batting as the main area in need of improvement if they want to mount a serious challenge for the Tri-Nation Series title. After beating South Africa in their opening game, the regional side stumbled to a 6-wicket defeat to Australia on Sunday as they were routed for just 116 in their turn at the crease. Holder said the bowlers continue to hold their hands up, but the batsmen must try and do more.
But it is important, I think we bowled reasonably well for the first two games. The bowlers have really put up their hands. Just important for the batsmen, just to build partnerships. I think it's crucial that we get some partnerships, especially going up front. Just to give ourselves some cushion in the middle and be able to blast at the end with the power that we have in the dressing room. But the biggest thing for us is just to get some partnerships up front and just let the momentum filter out to the minutes.
The Golden State Warriors again made light work of the Cleveland Cavaliers to make it 2-0 in their NBA Finals in The game played at the Oracle Arena on Sunday. The defending champions eased to a 110-77 triumph, with Draymond Green taking the spotlight with a game-high 28 points. Reigning MVP Steph Curry, who scored 18 points, says there is no time for complacency.
We took care of home court advantage, which is what we're supposed to do. There's still a lot of basketball left, and how we show up in Cleveland will be a big test for us. They have a great home atmosphere, and obviously the way that the first two games have gone, you would expect Cleveland to come out with a lot of energy.
LeBron James, who led the Cavs with 19 points, took responsibility for his team's poor display.
I had a lot of uncharacteristic, unforced turnovers, which resulted in those guys getting 26 points off turnovers. Always, I'm one of the guys who kind of always want to shoulder the blame and take the blame when we don't play as well as we should.
LeBron James. Game 3 will be played on Wednesday in Cleveland. And finally, National Housing Trust will face Jamaica Customs at Alpha Boys home at 3:30 in action from the Scotiabank-sponsored knockout competition today. In the Western Sports Business Out competition on Sunday, NWC and Scotiabank ended 1-1. This in Division 1. In Division 2, Gervin Brown scored 6 times as Wysinka blanked Ministry of Education 7-0. Omar Price netted a 3-timer for ATL in their 4-0 win over NCB. UA and Digicel ended 1-1, as did Guardian Group and Xerox, while Sutherland Global Services clipped JUTC by a 1-0. And that's all the sports now. Bye-bye.